Well, if you're thinking about making a trip to Las Vegas next week, or maybe you've got an open weekend and you want to make a trip to Las Vegas, go to Caesars Palace and check out the Jockeys and Jeans event, which comes up on Saturday. It benefits the permanently disabled Jockeys Fund. The first time, by the way, that Jockeys and Jeans has been held at a venue that is not a racetrack, and Caesars has been a massive supporter of the event and the PDJF. As you know, it is our official charity here on the Horse Racing Radio Network. It has been for a long time, so I would highly recommend that if you have the opportunity to be at Caesars Palace next Saturday, you'll want to do it. And Barry Pearl is the man who heads up Jockeys and Jeans. He's with me now here on HRRN. Barry, good morning.
Good morning, Mike. How are you, my friend?
I'm well. A little bit of a change of pace this year for Jockeys and Jeans. No racetrack involved, but, man, you go to the Emperor's Palace. How cool is that?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And I'll tell you a little story about how this all happened. A couple years ago when we went to Monmouth, Joe Morris from Caesars, he's the VP of racing there. Him and Brian Elmore came, and I know you know Brian. He's the president of the Indiana HBBA.
Sure.
And after the event, we got together for dinner. We went out, had a couple. Arnie Alescu was with us. I think Tony Black was with us, and a couple other folks. And Joe turned around to me and says, "How'd you like to do this in Vegas?" I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, how would you like to bring Jockeys and Jeans out to Vegas?" Now, I got to tell you another thing. Caesars Palace, Caesars Entertainment at Monmouth donated a sponsorship of $25,000.
Wow.
Which is not nickels and dimes. So, of course, I said, well, we're certainly interested. And we got together and agreed on it. And the next year at Churchill, they did the same thing, $25,000. I'm going to tell you, Mike, this is going to be the biggest event ever in horse racing. I can't even tell you right now what we're going to raise, but I'm thinking it's 500 plus.
Wow. And for a great cause. I mean, I talk about PDJF an awful lot on this program, and it is so critical to support those disabled riders that are now struggling to even survive, Barry. I know it's a passion of yours, obviously, with Jockeys and Jeans, and it's so great to see the event grow year in and year out. And now you throw out that number, 500,000. That means a lot to a lot of people.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy for sure. And it's a matter of everyone in our organization, myself, Eddie Donnelly, Maureen and Darrell Brown, Sandy and Carew Hawley, Jamie LaRocca, Roger Blanco, Michelle and Matt Pearl, sound familiar? And everybody else all do this for nothing. This is a labor of love. 100% of all monies we raise will go to the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund, which we're very proud of. And I got to give a shout out to some people from Caesars because it's important. Tom Regg, who is the CEO, he was instrumental in putting this together. And the Caranos, Gary and Anthony. And my good friend, my great pal, Brian Elmore from the Indiana HBBA, who really was a catalyst for all this. So, those guys deserve a thank you.
Barry, for people listening, wondering what Jockeys and Jeans is all about and what the event is going to entail next Saturday, lay it out for me. What can people expect if they are going to attend?
Well, they're going to expect a beautiful dinner, a sit-down dinner on Saturday evening with a cocktail hour before, all by Caesars. This is a major dinner. And we honor what we call our fallen riders. We'll have 10 fallen riders there. And our fallen rider coordinators are Jamie LaRocca and Roger Blanco, who are both fallen riders themselves. So we'll honor them along with our Hall of Famers. We have, 12, 13, 14 Hall of Famers from the thoroughbred and quarter horse world. We've incorporated that with it. And they're there to really honor our fallen riders. And these are young men and women who have who had career-changing accidents in racing, and they're now riding wheelchairs instead of horses. So we honor them. We will have a beautiful dinner. We'll have a live and silent auction where we'll have such things as our Hall of Fame poster, which has 95% of all Hall of Famers who are living and some who have passed on this poster who have signed it. We will have our Kentucky Derby poster with, again, 95% of all Derby winners of the last 20 years, 30 maybe, who have signed that. Guys like Bill Bolin. Bill Bolin won the 1955 Derby when he was like 16. And then right on down the line, all these folks who have won it. We will have a autographed saddle, jockey saddle, with all the Hall of Famers signing, or most of them that will be there. Things of that nature, which people come and they bid on. And I got to give a shout out to Churchill Downs. Churchill Downs, I called them about sponsorship. They said, we're going to do one better. How about if we give you box seats to next year's 150th Kentucky Derby for the Derby and on Friday for the Oaks? 6 seats in a box at the Derby. So that was a pretty big. So those are the kind of things that we'll be doing. We'll be auctioning that off. We'll be honoring our Man of the Year, and that is Mattress Max. He is coming out to Vegas for that. You know, he's done a lot of good out in the world, and we'll be presenting him with our coveted Man of the Year or Person of the Year award. And we'll be introducing the other folks, that will be there. We have Racing Rachel McLaughlin. She's coming from Indiana. She's the voice of Indiana Racing. We have Mark Klein. He's a speaker and a comedian. And we have some actors who are coming. So it's kind of neat that what's going on there this year. It's going to be a lot different.
Well, Barry, I commend you and the entire team for all of your efforts. I believe the first Jockeys and Jeans was, 2014? And here 9 years later, it continues to grow, continues to build. And the excitement now of partnering with Caesars Palace in Las Vegas to host this event, it is going to be incredible. And people can go to jockeysandsjeans.com if you want to learn more about getting involved, if you want to see the list of Hall of Fame riders, the quarter horse champions. They're all there for you. Jockeysandjeans.com. Barry, really appreciate it. Keep up the wonderful work. And when you see Sandy Hawley, tell him I think he needs to go back to the long hair and the mustache look. It looks pretty cool in that picture on the website.
I love that picture. He says to me, Mike, he says to me every time I use it, why do you use that picture? I said, because there you were pretty. But Sandy and Carew are great, great people. As you know, they were married a few years ago. I think Jockeys and Jeans were instrumental in bringing them together, and they really do a wonderful job with our Hall of Famers. And as I said, it's just a real heartwarming thing. And as of today, we have raised for the PDJF over $2.6 million.
Incredible, Barry. Keep up the wonderful work, my friend. I've got to jump to a commercial break, but really, keep up the great work. People will encourage you to go to jockeysandjeans.com to learn more. Barry, all the best, my friend. Enjoy next Saturday.
And thank you for your support, Mike. It means an awful lot to me.
My pleasure, my friend. Anytime. Barry Pearl here on the Horse Racing Radio Network. When